Okay, welcome to HCSE Studio Podcast, where we have guest Gerry. He's an artist in Coffs Harbour who is doing great paintings. I met him about 10 years ago, was it 10, 12 years ago,
Yeah.
at the Camera Club
Yeah.
at the CEX before it became the big CEX. It was the old CEX back then.
Yeah.
And I've been chatting with him on Facebook, running into him in town, seeing him around Coffs Harbour. Great guy, and I finally got him into the studio to do an interview and have him showcase some of his fabulous artwork. And right now, I'd just like to hand it over to Gerry and let him introduce himself.
Hi. Hi all. Well, I've really been into photography for the last 50 years, and the increase in photographic work over that period of time was fantastic. But I felt that I went as far as I could go in photography, because in photography you just take a moment in time, whereas when you do art, you might finish it in, say, a day or half a day or a month. But art is something that's continuous and it doesn't stop. Your creative process, unlike photography, is a sort of stop and go, but art just evolves like a dough that you're cooking. Yeah.
Yeah. So you've been in it for over 50 years involved in photography.
Yeah.
How has the art form involved with technology and advancement, and how has this influenced your approach to capturing images? Like, remember you say you used to be the photographer too.
Yeah. Well, it's better capturing images now, because you can buy cameras with built-in telephoto lenses. Admittedly, they're not as good as the screw-in ones, but for quick work, the technology is just unbelievable. Like, I was overseas in the 80s, and back then, the only way of recording your films was on slides. Well, eventually the emulsion on the slides went, and often a lot of those slides were ruined. So now it's you can put it straight on your computer and it's there forever.
Yeah, it's a bit faster now, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. The transition into art, though, after decades in the photography and various other careers, what inspired you to pick up a brush and start painting? And how has your background in photography influenced your painting style?
Well, I think it has influenced my painting style, photography, because you frame the picture better in your mind. You know exactly what you want to do before the paint goes onto the canvas. For example, this particular painting here of sea, I first started it by painting this way, right? Now, that's a very unusual way of painting, but when I looked at it, I thought, hey, that's unreal, because it just waves in.
Yeah, it looks like an ocean.
Yeah.
Beautiful ocean.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what sometimes starts as something often ends as something else. Yeah.
But the key is just starting it, huh?
Yeah.
Get it.
That's the secret. All the docos that I watch on art say, put an image on the canvas and take it from there. And that's so true.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
Okay, you say you having visited many art galleries during your travels. Can you share how these experiences have shaped your artistic vision and or influenced your choice of subjects and paintings?
Yeah, most of the galleries that I visited in England and Canada and the US were weren't abstract. They were old masters or scenery, which is, really nice.
Mm-hmm.
But I prefer painting abstract because abstract art joins to my creativity more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I learned the value of mixing colours myself.
Yeah.
I learnt the value of looking at a picture and thinking, well, I wouldn't have done that. I would have done it differently.
Mm-hmm.
Or I look at it and think, I could never do that.
Ah.
Just depends
You
on
gave it a try.
what it is.
Mm.
Yeah,
You gave it a try.
yeah.
Okay.
But I think everyone should visit art galleries.
Yeah,
It's
but
good
it seems like by visiting the art galleries, you came up. It led you to seeing what the art gallery portrayed, and then you started off saying, "Okay, I'm interested in how that creativity process goes into like your creativity start when you start something new." What comes to your head when you see that white canvas? Is it something you've seen or something you experienced? Because you just have a white canvas there.
Yeah, that's true.
Is it a mood that you're in? Is it, you know?
Sometimes it's a creative burst, like I'll have something in my mind that I have to put onto that canvas,
Mm-hmm.
but most often I've got to plan it. By planning it, I mean that you think, well, certain colours go with each other,
Mm-hmm.
and they don't clash.
Uh-huh.
And the creativity burst, like there was a period a couple of years ago where I could paint one canvas a day for 2 weeks.
Ooh.
And that was just like a burst of creativity.
Uh-huh.
And then the mojo stopped for maybe a month before I started again.
Wow.
That's the way it affects me. Other artists, well, they're just busy working for, all the time.
Yeah.
But
Standing that process the whole time though, that's deep. That's very deep when you say, okay, 2 weeks and I'm sitting here painting this painting for 2 weeks and just keep looking at it and adding to it and say it needs a little bit of this. That's quite creative.
I must add, though, that my partner,
Uh-huh.
a Canadian lady,
Uh-huh.
is an expert critique.
Oh.
So I'll finish an artwork and I'll
Ah.
say, what do you think of this?
Ah.
She says, that's really good, I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Or she'll say, the colour's wrong, it needs some colour in the middle or on the edges or whatever. And I found over time she's spot on.
Ah.
Yeah.
So you gotta listen to it, and
So I've got an inbuilt critique.
and it seems like it's working too because look at your paintings, they're beautiful paintings.
Yeah.
Keep her in your pocket. Okay, you said okay, we're gonna look at a business shift, transitioning from owning a news agency shop to becoming an artist involves significant shift in business models.
Yeah, there
It
is.
said,
Yeah.
what have been the most challenging award aspects of selling art compared to running a retail business?
Well, in a retail business, of course, you've got the product that people usually want and are prepared to pay for because it's a set price.
Yes.
Art is so different in the price is in different layers.
Mm-hmm.
For example, I'll put a price of, say, $175, $200 on this,
Uh-huh.
which will cover my time involved in painting it,
Of course.
the paint, the canvas, stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
This one took longer to do, so probably that would be in the early 300s.
Yeah, that's beautiful there.
Yeah, I like that.
It's
And
it seems, you know, in Japan they have a mountain that meets the sea, but it's the only place I think in the world that the snow runs into the beach.
yeah,
And I said, when I look at that, I think of that mountain in Japan where the snow meets the beach,
yeah,
and you capture it right there.
yeah. That's the
It's
thing.
amazing what you see in life, and then you look at a painting and it relates to what
Yeah,
you've seen in life.
Exactly. That's so true, Jay, because
And that's why some of the paintings sell so good, because you're taking someone to a place where they remember, but you don't know that artwork takes them there.
exactly.
And then the artists go like, why they like that so much?
Yeah.
Because you took them to that place.
Yeah,
You took them to that place.
yeah. Yeah, art's a strange medium to sell, because you don't want to charge too much, but you want to charge enough to cover your expenses.
Yes.
So you're stuck between a rock and a hard place.
Yes.
Because when you see other paintings on Blue Thumb, which is an online selling medium, their prices sometimes a bit high. Well, I think they'd be high, but
It's the complexity. It's the complexity of it, and a lot of people don't. They just see the painting, but they don't know how complex it was to get the colors just right, to make it look a certain way that you had in your mind. And that right there, a lot of people don't see what goes into the canvas. Oh, it's just a painting. No, it's not just a painting. You know, it's me with my.
Well, look at this one, for example. You'd think, well, how the hell did Gerry get?
That's beautiful.
Yeah, I like it. So what I did with this was to put the acrylic on the canvas, and then get plastic film and put it on top of the paint and work it with my hands, so that I'm in control of the painting all the time.
And it works. And it works.
Sometimes it works. Sometimes it
Well, that's the beauty of art.
yeah. In this case, it did work.
Yeah.
Luckily. Yeah.
Yeah, that's something a lot of kids don't do today. They just say, okay, I'll just paint a masterpiece. Don't know how. I don't know how, but I'll figure it out. And then next thing you know, their first painting.
Yeah.
It's like, no, there's a learning curve.
Yeah.
There's rules. You know the rules, and if you know the rules, you can break the rules.
Yeah.
But you gotta know the rules. You know, there's a reason why you use certain colors. It's to draw attention to this, to draw attention to this. Nature, if you're painting nature, you use mostly green and earthly colors.
Yeah.
You know, if you want to take them to a dark place, you use darker colors, you know. But the thing is, there's rules. I'm sorry. It's not just closing your eyes and whatever goes on there. When you open your eyes, it's a masterpiece.
Yeah, that's right.
It doesn't work like that. Okay. Oh, you mentioned having an online and face-to-face lessoning for painting. How important do you believe formal education is in developing an art career? And what advice would you give to self-taught artists?
I guess it depends on the creative process of that person who wants to become an artist. If a person is brilliant, like someone like Van Gogh or other painters in his ilk, then you don't need to learn how to do art because it's all up there.
Yes.
But that's very rare. I would encourage any budding artist to to learn art either at TAFE or there's quite a few art schools around Coffs in general, but I've never been happy with them. I started off doing a creative art process with a lady called Marion Creer, who still does art, but in different forms. She does little books and things like that. But in her starting process, would colour tissue paper and would do a lot of different things that you wouldn't think was in the art field, but it was. There's so many different areas that you can start off with. And I found that
that's what you call a master. She's a master.
Yeah,
You can
I had a choice of unusual techniques and colours that I used that the other students in the class didn't have, and I realised that I could work on that. One mistake I made when I started doing art was that I didn't keep an art book of the processes that I used in my early art. So that, of course, after a couple of years, I forgot how I did it. And that was a big mistake. So any person that's starting art, in my opinion, they should have a book chained to their arm.
Like a journal.
The processes.
Yes.
I did not like this painting because so-and-so went wrong or whatever. But I did like this painting because the colours merge well and just put a bit about the colours and how they turned out and the processes of putting clear acrylic on the paintings to lift the colours and stuff like that. It's lost. I just can't remember.
And like I say, with so much of the world going to the digital age now, and what you just described is there's no way you can get digital to lift up off the canvas. And so how do you engage with the audience and potential buyers, and how has this strategy evolved from your earlier days in the art scene of how they do it now in the digital world? I mean, now you can just put in ChatGPT and say, draw me a picture of this, and it'll draw you a picture of whatever you're thinking about. But that's not a human using their mind. That's a computer using its mind.
Yeah, that's bordering on AI, isn't it?
Yeah, that's like you're learning nothing. But the thing is, this is what humans need to take their images in their head and purvey it to a canvas, not AI, because AI doesn't take your hand and strokes. It just does. So you're taking away from all the strokes. You're taking away from all the breathing to look at it and go like, I know what it needs.
Yeah, that's right.
There's no more thinking. And less thinking means what? Does it mean better art? Or does it mean, you see where I'm going? I said, is it really beneficial to be an artist on the iPad now? Is that where the youth is going and getting away from the canvas? I think canvas still, you go back to the 1600s, it was canvas.
Yeah. And canvas isn't expensive. I mean, this particular
You know why
canvas.
that canvas is expensive? Because you have to use your head.
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
Because you have to use your
Yeah,
head.
but people.
They do the social media now, like it's called Art Daily or something like the Art Daily on Instagram, where every day someone's taking something and doing something like drawing on the sidewalks, little mouse at a table and things like that, and that's that instant fame. But the thing is, they got to realize the people that does that, they've been doing it for a while. It's just not picking up a brush and just drawing that mouse, that beautiful mouse, or drawing this whole sidewalk like Michelangelo. But it just, that's time and energy put into that craft.
Well, look at Banksy, that
Yes.
English guy.
Mm-hmm.
He used to put the little artworks all over cities,
Yeah, and just leave it.
and now his paintings are worth squillions.
Yes.
People have often knocked part of the wall away and taken it with them to sell them.
Yes.
Uh,
Because that's the mind. They have a way of saying, okay, I need to portray this to the world. And that's the way they do it. Not on an iPad. I'm sorry, people, but iPad is not going to get it. Not in the real art world.
No, that's true.
Okay then, Gerry. Okay. We're gonna wrap it up, and like I said, thank you for coming, and hopefully when they get the oil paintings going, we're gonna have you back on the show, and like I said, show your work, and it's like I said, it's a dying art, and I'm just happy you're keeping it alive. So y'all stay tuned, and HSG Studio will bring you more of the new 2450 and inspiring artists to join us in the studio and to showcase their creative minds. And no matter what it is, we want to hear about it. Thank you very much.